Starcasting to you from the City of Angels. Hi everyone, I'm Kiris. Thank you so much for being here and listening to the Voice of Astrology podcast. This is our astrology for the week, beginning Sunday, April 2nd through Saturday, April 8th, 2023. Let's journey with astrology and explore how to connect with the stars, the planets, the energies for our new week ahead. So, hi everyone, how's your relationships going? Do you find relationships to be a big pain, or do you find relationships to be wonderful and harmonious? Because what's happening this week is we have the full moon coming up in the sign of Libra, which is the sign of marriage relationships. Libra is ruled by Venus, and from what I hear most of the time as a professional astrologer is that the frustration in all kinds of relationships that people have, not just the marriage partner, but in relationship, how to relate with another person, this tends to be the number one area of frustration. We are connected to each other. We have to deal with people, whether we like it or not. That is just the way it is. And this full moon in Libra is putting a big spotlight, the full moon spotlight, on just what is going on in our relationships, primarily the marriage, but just with people overall. Now, the week starts off on April 2nd. We have the moon in Virgo, and Virgo is nitpicky, picky picks, critical Virgo, moon in Virgo. Now, with the moon in Virgo overall, you can spend like 16 hours putting yourself together, getting all looking perfect, and then you have one little itsy bitsy thread sticking out, and it is the Virgo that will go, oh, do you know you have a tiny little thread sticking out of your shirt? Virgo points out the flaws. Virgo just naturally wants to point out what is wrong with something, what's not working with something, and how to fix it. This is how we are starting off the week. The moon in Virgo, ruled by Mercury. Mercury right now is getting ready to change signs and go into the sign of Taurus. But Mercury is at the ending degrees of Aries. So Virgo and Aries, they make solstice points to each other, what's called antitia. There's an underneath language and underneath understanding between Virgo and Aries. And so this moon in Virgo, as we are in waxing, the light increasing, waxing gibbous moon phase, meaning the intensity of the energy is growing stronger. The light is increasing, meaning the awareness, things needing to come into consciousness, it's growing as we approach the full moon in Libra. And so this moon in Virgo is pointing out in a very aggressive way just what is not working in relationships. So we're starting off the week with this, and the moon in Virgo is making a sextile aspect to Mars now in its fall in the sign of Cancer. Now, Mars in Cancer, Mars likes to poke at things, and Mars likes to stir the pot. That is what Mars does. And Mars in the sign of Cancer, which is its fall, this is stirring the pot in the area of your home and family. Should you have more kids? No more kids. Should you bring in pets? They're members of the family too. For me, once a pet crosses the threshold, they're there for life, no matter what. The people I'm not so sure about, but once a puppy dog or a pet crosses that threshold into the home, they're there. So issues around pets and family and fertility and, where's the mother-in-law going to live and all this kind of thing. That drama around family and fertility issues is very much on the table with Mars in Cancer. And so it is starting off with the moon in Virgo wanting a positive outcome with the moon in Virgo aspecting Mars in Cancer. It is a sextile that needs some work there, but things can be worked through with what do we do about the family as a whole. And as you know, when it comes to family, there's just always something going on. Always. Oh, April 3rd, we have Mercury changing signs and going into smooth as butter Taurus. Mercury in Taurus, that's just so Barry White sublime. The best vocalists, or some of the best vocalists of all time, they've got that Mercury in Taurus. Taurus is ruled by Venus. Venus right now is at home, her home sign of Taurus. So the cosmic support here, the cosmic superpower is the ability to talk, communicate, to smooth things out, to have a certain ability to keep it even keel. It takes a lot to push Taurus. I mean, if you keep tweaking the horns of the bull with Taurus, we never want to do that. We never want Taurus to get to the point where they put their nose down, start pawing the earth, and then just run for your life. That's pretty much all you can do once you finally anger Taurus. It takes a lot to get there. They'd rather keep the peace. But this Mercury in Taurus with Venus in Taurus as well, it can be, let's just try to keep it calm here and smooth things out in communication, in partnership. Again, Taurus being ruled by Venus, as we are now getting dangerously close to the full moon in Libra. So nice Mercury entering Taurus with Venus at home in Taurus. For Monday, April 3rd, we still have the moon in Virgo. And the moon in Virgo makes an earth trine flow to Venus in Taurus. Now, a trine is ease, and ease in the element of earth is healing elements, and it's healing having to do with the power of nature, natural things healing us. So even the moon in Virgo settles down on Monday, April 3rd, making that trine to Venus in Taurus, Earth. The moon trine Venus in Virgo, we're looking at the element as Earth, which is, can we just use some common sense here? Earth is common sense, practical. Let's just get our feet on the ground and get very real about what's going on. No nonsense Taurus with Virgo. Let's get real here about what's really happening here. Not only in health and healing, but when we look at the element of Earth, moon trine Venus and Earth, we're looking at what are we doing with the money in the relationship? How are we spending the money? Earth represents value, the exchange of value for value. So a big component to this week and how we're approaching the full moon is, how are we spending the money? How extravagantly or not are we spending the money? Are you spending $18 on a smoothie at Erewhon? Now that's just stupid. You're getting exactly what you deserve. $18 for a smoothie? Think about it. So how are we spending the money in the relationship is this moon trine Virgo, and how can we smooth it out? Taurus is a sign of value. It wants to build things. Taurus is the great builder. So to just spend money on little gizmo gadgets, little Virgo things that aren't necessary and are not practical, that moon in Virgo trine Venus in Taurus can say, let's just get really real about getting value for the dollar in a relationship and not spend frivolously. Tuesday, April 4th, we have the moon now moving into cardinal air Libra, ruled by Venus. So we're almost at the exact moment of the full moon. Still more room for growth. This full moon at 16 degrees Libra brings in the second division, the second decanate of Libra, which is Aquarius. Now, Aquarius is an influence in this full moon in Libra. And so the full moon in Libra is all things having to do with not only the marriage, all relationships And how are we moving this relationship or not into the future? Because Aquarius is about let's move forward. So there are many things here about this full moon in Libra, which is, first of all, are we good friends in the relationship? How, of course, do we speak to each other? We're looking at the element of air. Air is light. It doesn't like it heavy all the time. If you're constantly saying to your partner, honey, we need to talk, and the conversations are big, heavy, emotional conversations. I hear this all the time with my astrology clients, that they want the big emotional water sign conversations in partnership. It's too heavy, it's too draining, it takes the energy. So the first thing with this full moon in Libra, with that Aquarius influence, is, do we ever keep it like light and fun and everything isn't so deep all the time? Are we really good friends in the relationship that enjoy each other and have fun together? Because if we don't, then that Aquarius influence is saying, are we really going to move into the future? This is a big part of this full moon in Libra. Also, the moon is a mirror. It is our satellite. It mirrors back to us the true inner self-image that we have. This is mirroring back to how you truly see yourself in the marriage, in the partnership. Do you feel like, for instance, do you see yourself as someone that has given up too much for the sake of the marriage? Do you see yourself as someone that is loved, because Libra is love, of course, in the marriage? Do you get enough affection, enough romance? Venus is romantic. Do you see yourself as someone that could do better in the area of being more caring, more loving, more appreciative in the marriage? When we look at the axis of Aries versus Libra, the sun exalted in Aries. Aries is all that and then some, versus the sign of we, Libra. So the I versus we, Aries, I am, versus Libra, we are together. The full moon is shining on light on how do you see yourself in the relationship? How do you see the marriage relationship as a whole? Of course, is there peace and harmony in the relationship? Full moon in Libra is also how selfish or not. Aries is I am. It's me, me, me. And it has to be that way, by the way, because Aries is the newborn baby, the first sign of the zodiac. Aries, the newborn baby, needs, craves a lot of love. That's just what newborn babies do. They need to be loved. We're wired for connection, whether you like that or not. Libra is the sign of we are together in this relationship. So selfish or not, that interplay of my needs versus our needs. And in a marriage, there's three. There's you, the marriage partner, and then the marriage. And nurturing the marriage, making it grow, flourish, taking care of it, paying attention to it. So many times people get married, or they're in a partnership, and then they don't pay any attention to the partner. Guess what's going to happen there to the marriage, the third party, the third in this situation? It's taking a look at yourself, level of giving, loving, selfishness, how much we're caring and nurturing the relationship. Also, because we're looking at Libra, which is beauty, Venus, and Aries, this is also the full moon shining a light on appearance, health, looks, weight. One thing, Aries, you don't do, Aries is very vain, you don't criticize the appearance. The other thing with this Aries-Libra axis is, let's say one person in the relationship is very mindful of their health and exercise, and the other person is not. This issue will come into the light. Of course, we care and want the marriage partner to be healthy and all of that, but appearance and weight, an image. That's Aries, the image, how we look together, and is there harmony there? That comes into the light as well. Thursday, April 6th, we still have the moon in Libra, and the moon in Libra, now this one, moon in Libra making an opposition aspect to Jupiter in Aries. The moon never stops acquiring. The moon says, feed me, feed me, feed me, always. And when the moon is in aspect with Jupiter, which is big over the top, never knows when to quit, it doesn't stop, then any aspect between moon and Jupiter is I want it all and then some. Now, because we're looking at the moon and Jupiter in Libra and Aries, this opposition can be a very explosive combination if the wanting is so big and so over the top that it's never enough. That feeling of I want more and more and more, and it's never enough. And depending on how it goes with the I versus we axis, Libra Aries, this can be quite explosive, or it can be, yes, we want it all in the relationship, and we can have it all in the relationship, but we have to share it and be in harmony as a team to have it all in the relationship. Later on Thursday, April 6th, the moon moves into her fall in fixed water Scorpio. The moon in Scorpio is the emotional imprints that we took on as ours before we had a choice in the matter. The moon in Scorpio is being aware, trying to be aware of how much you torture yourself, how hard you are on yourself with the moon in Scorpio. So moon in Scorpio, which is its fall placement, is be very emotionally, most importantly, emotionally kind to yourself. Someone's not good to you. Friday, April 7th, Venus's day. The moon in Scorpio makes a water trine flow to its ruler Mars in its fall and Cancer. So two placements in their fall. The moon in its fall, Scorpio. Mars, its ruler, in its fall, Cancer. Now, this is just wait, because these two fall placements in the element of water, you don't want to fall into depression, sadness, the blues, because of a feeling that your emotional needs are not being met through the family. Cancer, wait. Let it pass. Mars in Cancer, stirring up the pot, to be stirring up memories, to start playing the blame game. Not good with this aspect here. Saturday, April 8th, the moon is still in Scorpio. The moon in Scorpio makes a water trine flow to Neptune in Pisces. So Neptune in Pisces can be murky. It's the ocean. It's overwhelming feelings. So this weekend energy, trying to get clear on the confusing emotions. These aspects here, as we are closing out the week, are about self-care, inner, protect yourself. When we look at the whole scope of the week, as we thread the week together, starting off with the moon in Virgo, then the moon, full moon, goes into Libra. Then the moon is Scorpio. This moon trajectory with the sun exalted in Aries, which is saying, here I am, look at me. This moon thread through the week, those moon signs correspond to autumn, harvest time, reaping what we have sown, harvesting what is healthy, what is poison, I have to let go of it. That whole process of separation that we do at harvest time, which is, what have I been harvesting in my relationships? Full moon in Libra, all of them, not just the marriage. Marriage being so key to not only health and happiness, but also relationships being very connected to success in life, how we move forward in life, happiness, fulfillment in life, all of it. So as we close out this week, and we're in full moon energy for sure, feeling into and becoming aware of just what is going on in my relationships, and what am I reaping, what is the work I'm doing, what is the harvesting in not only the marriage but in relationships in our lives, period. This can be a very productive, supportive, enlightening, healing, awakening week. So this is our full moon in Libra week. What are we doing and what are we harvesting in our relationships, primarily the marriage relationship? Thank you, everyone. I will see you all in the stars. Thank you. Have a great week.